the audience at BCTV as we get set for our third match, and this is going to be a match between the Iron Maiden and Stacy Jackson. The Iron Maiden, managed by Neil Drummond, coming in to the ring now. Neil Drummond has become quite a successful manager in spite of the way he looks. And part of his ability to get the talent like the Iron Maiden is half the battle. He'll have the match against Stacy Jackson. Iron Maiden versus Stacy Jackson. Just waiting for Stacy Jackson to come up to ringside. The Maiden getting ready, being talked to by Neil Drummond. And I guess the Frog's got a point there. We can't really talk in terms of Neil Drumstick anymore. He's right. There's not enough meat on him to be called a drumstick. Stacy Jackson from Dallas, Texas, 125 pounds, 5'7". And starting it off fast, there's the Maiden moving in there quickly. The Maiden from Chicago, Illinois. She's 5'8". She's 180 pounds. She is a tough customer, no question about that. She is a very tough customer. The Iron Maiden has had an awful lot of the women wrestlers kind of a little frightened to get in the ring with that girl. You know, I'll bet you that's Neil Drummond's. I just think he must go to bed dreaming about that girl.
It could be the woman of his dreams. Who knows?
I'm sure. No question about it. You notice that ever since he's been managing the Iron Maiden, that Drummond is starting to look like her.
Now, come on, Ed.
Got the makeup on. I mean, well, you know, the hairstyle's not quite the same, but his hairstyle's changed a lot.
That's true.
Yours has changed a bit, too, I've noticed.
Come on, Mr. Carl.
The Iron Maiden versus Stacy Jackson. This will be a 10-minute time limit in this match.
You know, as we said earlier, that Iron Maiden wouldn't win a beauty pageant or anything, and I think I owe the Maiden an apology for my comments last week about her. I mean, I came to the thought that this isn't a beauty pageant, and this is professional wrestling, and she's a very fine wrestler.
They're calling you what?
They're calling me drumstick, and it's all your fault, Ed Carl. You should start listening to Mauro Ronaldo a little more often. At least he sees it as it is.
Oh, boy.
Thank you very much, Neil.
You've been getting to him, too? I can't believe it. I don't know what's going on around here, but it seems from one week to the next, things change so rapidly. There's a good look at Neil Drumstick. I don't think too much of his makeup artist. Well, here's the Iron Maiden. Maiden really starting to work over Stacy Jackson. Oh. Now, there's a fair weight difference between these two, 125 versus 180.
I think that weight disadvantage is going to play a major role in this match, Ed.
You know, the Iron Maiden was a former track star in the United States and Canada, believe it or not.
I can believe it.
It's like a big girl for track, but nonetheless, apparently she's very successful.
I think these wrestling fans here in the studio ought to give Mr. Drummond a break, Ed. I mean, he's just left the studio now. I mean, they've really gotten to him, and I don't think he deserves any more of that.
They definitely would like to do that. They'd like to break his arm, break his leg, break his head, anything.
Now, come on, Ed. Show some compassion at least.
It'd be very difficult when you're talking about Neil Drummond, but that's another story, I suppose. You know, this Iron Maiden, I've got to give her one thing. She does know how to wrestle. She's a tough lady.
Well, I'll admit that Stacy Jackson is a finely accomplished wrestler also. It's just that I think the Iron Maiden, with her size, and I think she may be just a little more finely tuned in the aspects of pro wrestling than the Stacy Jackson.
I can tell you, she's one rough customer. She really is one rough customer. Now, look at this. Turnabout is fair play, I guess.
Well, they're going at it tooth and nail.
Uh-oh, this could hurt. There's a backbreaker.
Beautiful backbreaker there, executed by the Iron Maiden.
And Jackson felt that. Now the Maiden's going in. Shot to the top of the head. Now here comes the choke. I mean, she's doing a great job. Why the choke?
I didn't see no choke.
You're going to have to get your eyes checked, Morrow. I'm going to bring some glasses for you next week.
Oh, I have to admit there, Ed Carl, that was a beautiful flying head scissors by Stacy Jackson. But I still didn't see the choke that you just mentioned.
You'll have to pay a little more attention, Morrow. Mauro Ronaldo, once upon a time, believe it or not, was working with the UWA. I did a report for them, I believe. I see they didn't pay a lot of attention to it.
I was just going to say the same thing there, Ed Carl. I wasn't really appreciated my duties in the UWA and stuff, and Mr. Sayers and Mr. Drummond approached me to become a spokesman for them, and I said, hey, if I'm not going to be appreciated one way, I'm sure I'll be appreciated the other. But I'm still telling you one thing. I'm going to call it the way I see it. I'm going to be totally unbiased in my commentary.
You're going to be unbiased. Well, I do appreciate that, Morrow. We'll see how long that lasts. As long as you hang around with guys like Drumstick and Sayers, you won't be unbiased very long. Now the Iron Maiden starting to put those turns on Stacy Jackson.
There she is trying to help Miss Stacy Jackson up there. I don't know if you noticed that, Ed.
Well, I wouldn't have called it that, but now what? We got somebody else coming into the ring. I don't know who. Whoa! Whoever that was, did you see what she did to the Maiden?
Yeah, I want to know who that person was.
Wow, that was quick. Stacy Jackson takes that away.
Carl.
I have no idea what happened there, but I agree with you that that certainly was skullduggery. Can't believe it, but we'll go to ringside. Joe Cagle would like to have a word. Well, it's a family night here on All-Star Wrestling as Joe Cagle is coming along, and I imagine that Joe would like to say some kind words about his cousin.
You read this shirt, Diamond Timothy Flowers, you're nothing but an egg-sucking dog. And let me tell you people something. Diamond Tim, you're talking about a street fight match, Daddy. You're right down my street, not my alley. And let me tell you something. Tonight, I'm going to do the things that I want to do. And I'm going to do the things that the people really want me to do. And I'm going to take care of you. Come here, brother. Buddy be out there. He'll be watching me.
Oh, I'll be watching really close. I'll be watching really close, Tim Flowers. So you better watch your back. Because this man is a street fighting son of a gun now. Let me tell you, Tim Flowers, watch him. Watch him very close. By the way, there's somebody that's been here for a while. He just came in. His name is Doug McColl. Have a few words with him. He hasn't been here for a while.
Doug McColl has been around here. Have you been traveling?
I'm back by popular demand, Ed Carl, and as everybody knows from that last match, I'm not going to go too much into it. That wasn't a 3 count, it was a 2 count. My shoulders were not down for a 3 count once again. But let's talk about the important business at hand. Diamond Timothy Flowers in a street fight match with the most dangerous professional wrestler in the world today, Sir Joseph Cagle. This man has retired more people than the Social Security, made more people run than milk of magnesia, baby.
Diamond Tim, you always say that you're going to deliver. Well, let me tell the people right now, you didn't deliver last Saturday night. You said you was going to beat Sir Joseph Cagle. You didn't do it. We went 30 minutes, Daddy, toe-to-toe. We went head-to-head, baby, and let me tell you something. You gave me your pile driver.
That was it?
Let me tell you something, Tim Flowers. You got your hands full tonight. You got your hands very full. Tim Flowers, just watch yourself very closely. Don't underestimate this Joe Cagle. And by the way, that shirt was a present from me. Tim Flowers, you are an egg-sucking dog. Talk to him, Neil.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but there seems to be an awful lot of controversy going on.
Well, there's a little bit of bad blood in Carl right now, but just like Joe Cagle said, you know, Diamond Timothy Flowers, he had everything given to him. And Joe Cagle had to grow up on the street, Daddy. And one thing Joe Cagle knows is how to street fight. So Diamond Tim, you may have gotten your bicycle, but Joe Cagle did the smart thing and sold it on you, Daddy. So Joe Cagle all the way. Street fight.
I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but I know that I'm not going to argue with these guys to tell them about it right now. We're back in just a minute. Stay with us.